All right, welcome to, I don't even know, is this 89? I think this is episode 89. All right, of My FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there's a blog, which is what you should go to. Actually, this is one of those ones where I am going to ask you to share. I'm going to ask you to share this. I'm going to ask you to go and get this article right here. This is the main reason why I'm posting is this article right here. And I'm not even going to play around. It's going to be the first thing I talk about. So people who don't like to listen, this should be 30 minutes. It should be 30 minutes. You know, I'll do a little summary of what's going on. And then after that, you could go. But people are going to want to put their eyes on this article right here. Okay, so the blog is myfxbuddies.blogspot.com. Or maybe myfxbuddies.com if you use HTTPS as in Sam. Anywhere you're enjoying this content, there should be a link to the blog. Sometimes, so let me just tell you what's been happening. I upload through two different, I don't even know, websites, I guess. And they syndicate it. Is that the word? And for some reason, the one that sends to YouTube is taking like 2 hours now. And, it used to just take like 20 minutes. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if they're going through my words more because we're talking about Lebanon, and I've been saying Lebanon and, some other names because the conflict, right? If you're new to me, conflict is another word for a 3-letter word that starts with W and ends with R, but I can't say that word, right? So conflict. So I don't know if that's what's taking long, but the point is I don't have 2 hours to sit here and wait. So for YouTube, I have to wait until I get the thing that says your video is now on YouTube. Then I have to go there and add the link and other stuff. So if you go, okay, let me just say this right now. If you're listening to this on YouTube, like I said, listening, you will need to go to the more box to get the link to the blog. Okay, so I know it looks like you're watching the video, but you're not. Notice how it's a static image? So below that box that looks like a video, look for the word more. You click on the word more, it opens another box, and that's where the link to the blog will be, which is where the article is. Okay, so I think I said, okay, Spotify.com has video and audio. My FX Buddies, everywhere that I post as My FX Buddies. And RSS.com has a transcript that is pretty good. And there's also a link to that in the YouTube description box if you want to go there. And let's see. I believe that's it for, all that stuff that I have to say. I don't have to, but they recommend that you say that stuff. All right. Today, this says Saturday, August 3rd here, but this is gonna post everywhere August 4th because it's already past midnight. But so I haven't been posting, I think, for 2 days, maybe 3, because it's been just boring stuff. Nothing worth posting. Also, it's been a lot of conflict stuff, okay? And I'll show you that. But I don't want to waste any time. I want to get right to this. US Treasury takes control of Iraq's Central Bank. Let me read that again. US Treasury takes control of Iraq's central bank. And that's just the short title because some of the places you have to have a short title, okay? So here's the full title of the article. US Treasury takes control of Iraq's central bank to combat money laundering. So there's been a storyline to follow, right? And in the last posting, they were saying, if you don't stop, we're going to come in and take over. And guess what? 3 informed sources close to the political and parliamentary decision-making process in Baghdad revealed extremely dangerous information. Who's it dangerous to? Anyway, dangerous information confirming that the US Treasury Department has taken a permanent headquarters in the Central Bank of Iraq building. They considered that this step came as a result of the great pressures on the Iraqi banking system with the aim of limiting money laundering and dollar smuggling, as the governor of the central bank was forced to allocate an entire floor for U.S. Treasury departments to monitor money transfers and prevent any illegal activities. Now there's more here to read. That's why I want you to go there and I want you to read it for yourself. Also, this is a new, to me it seems new, if this is new. On the other hand, so I skipped a bit, right, and I'm going down to this. On the other hand, Prime Minister Sudani has repeatedly sought to ease these measures, trying to reach understanding. So the sanctions, the not sanctions, right, that they're trying to intercept money from going to Iran, Syria, and Lebanon, right? So Sudani has repeatedly sought to ease these measures, trying to reach understandings with the American side, but there is strong resistance from Washington, which insists on correcting the course of the economic process and reforming the banking system in Iraq. Sudani finds himself in a difficult position as he must balance internal pressures and international demands. So just think, if you're an Iraqi citizen and you read this, what does this do to the confidence of them in their banking system? Not good, right? Dang, CBI so bad. The U.S. Treasury had to move in a whole floor, right? And I suspect they've been there for a while. They're just now deciding to put this article out. And notice, this seems to be leaked. It says 3 sources. Oh, I need to put that T there. So yes, definitely, I feel this is good. I feel, what other way can they control, what other better way to control the old money going out, the new money going in, right? But to have us right there in the building. So was this necessary for the RV? I doubt it, but I feel possibly this could be forward movement towards the RV. And if you listen to other people who say it's not an RV, it's an RI, I don't care. Use whatever 2 letters you want to use, okay? All I care is when I say RV, I mean rate change. I don't get into silly semantics about stuff like that, right? Life is too short. Don't sweat the small stuff, right? We know what that means. It means the rate's going to change and we can go to the bank. That's what that means, right? Okay. So yes, I feel that is important for people who are losing heart, because there are people who are losing heart in this, which is why I try to do this, to say don't give up. So there's that. So now I'm going to do the little summary. That was the main, this article is the main reason why I'm posting. And today's Saturday. Well, it's Saturday and a Sunday. So let's see if, I might do another post later, right? It would be later if something worthy comes out Sunday. All right. Nope. Here. Nope. Here. Okay. So these are from August 2nd, August 1st. Look at this. They did a special article. Matter of fact, I think this is the second one. But they did a special report. What is the Ascada system in Iraq and how does it serve Iraqis? An international report details. And if you go there, it does. Well, actually, sorry, you can't go there. And I'm not posting that. Uh, it just, that's education for the citizens. We don't live there. We don't need to know that. But I just wanted to point that out because it is, it's good for them. Oh, you know what? This is interesting too. So, see this urgent study to localize gold in Iraq. There's a woman, her name is Aliyah Nassif. She came out, she's very influential. A lot of times when she says this is something that should be done, a lot of times it gets done. And I'm just pointing out because usually in the past, they don't give women that respect, right? So that's why I'm pointing out that she's a woman. So she came out, tweeted it, that there's a new way where people are smuggling. They're buying gold because gold is openly sold at the CBI and I believe at those auctions too, right? So people are buying gold, melting it down, changing its form into an ingot, which, they have different names, but so then they're smuggling out the gold ingots. So they're very creative, aren't they? So she called that out. And then now there's a study to localize gold in Iraq. So just, and I'm not saying they're the only ones. That's just not evil, but fraud. People who would rather get money through fraudulent means. They're very creative, right? And anyway, okay, let me not go there. So let's see. Here is this is what we did. We deployed, see this number here, and these convict ships and 4,000 more soldiers. And that building in Washington that has 8 sides, right? 8? Nope. How many sides does it have? I don't know. It's a weird shaped building, right? In America, they confirmed, yes, we did this. So that's escalation. I think we talked about the expansion into Lebanon, and that's in regular news. And I'm sure, I don't watch our news. I spend more time watching Iraq's news than I do our news. But here, raising the level of coordination between these people, popular mobilization forces, and joint operations to confront challenges. Oh, here's the name of that building that I wouldn't say. See here? Within 72 hours, Iran and its allies will launch a large-scale, that word there, on ice cream land. Dated 8/1. So we're into the 72 hours, right? Yeah, so that's been what's going on. Oh, this here also. Supposedly they arrested another person in that heist of the century. I don't report on that. I don't think it has anything to do with the RV. In fact, it seems to be a story they use when they want, this is my opinion, but remember, I've been watching this and I see the patterns, right? It seems to be a story they bring out when they want positive news for the government in the news flow. So magically, they've arrested another person and found more money. They found more money. So they're up there talking, and they have stacks and stacks and stacks of, Iraqi dinar. And so that's, but I found out that that story is followed by quite a few people. So going forward, I may address it. But yeah, okay. So that is some of the stuff that's been happening. Just boring stuff. Nothing to do. Well, I feel that the conflict is why I've moved. Well, two reasons. The conflict in the region and our wonderful presidential craziness. That's why I'm in January, right? Okay, so let's go back here. So now, these are today, August 3rd, but I'm going to skip that. If you want to read that, that's good, because I want to keep this to 30 minutes. An economist says, likely to ease the sanctions imposed on Iraqi banks. So who is it? Safwan Quase. We haven't heard from him in a while. He came out Friday. He suggested easing the sanctions imposed on Iraqi banks and making them financial only. So this international company, K2, they're doing auditing. They're one of the companies there doing auditing, right? Everyone is keen on the process of stopping the use of Iraqi banks for the purpose of money laundering. The private Iraqi banks are not the owners of corrupt money, but rather there are those who acquire the Iraqi dinar illegally and are trying to use the banks for the purpose of money laundering and smuggling hard currency. As for the restricted banks, they will be rehabilitated through merger, mitigation of these penalties, or making them financial penalties during the coming periods. So look at that. That came out Friday. He said that Friday, but it was in the news Saturday. So this is another reason why our US Treasury has moved into the CBI, I believe, to facilitate this. Okay, CBI. Okay, this is this new development that I don't think they've talked about it openly before, but it was something we kind of knew. We kind of knew that there were people stopping the advancement of what we're waiting for, right? CBI delays financing initiatives despite Sudani's request. The CBI is posting financing, excuse me, geez Louise. The CBI is postponing financing initiatives despite Sudani's request, informed sources stated. Well, it's more than that. We have a document. So, here's another version with a little more detail. It says, according to the sources, CBI is still delaying the Prime Minister's directives, although they serve the Iraqi economy by activating the development initiative. So see, it would serve the economy if they would activate these initiatives that he provided way back when. So don't stick too hard to these dates. So I translated this document here. But sometimes in translating documents, the dates get screwy. Okay? But it's so if you're not looking, it says April 4th, 2024. May the peace, well, blessings. Isn't that lovely how they start out their articles, their letters or whatever. But so the topic of this is activating the financing initiative. The Prime Minister directed to re-examine the activation of the financing initiative presented from the CBI with His Excellency's support for the proposal. And there it is. Now this is April 3rd, or either March 4th or April 3rd. Here's 4/4. So that's why I think it's April. Because sometimes they do the other way. Sometimes they put the month first and then the day, you know? But anyway, so there's a letter where Sadani was like, hey, I've asked you to activate these financial directives. What's going on? Well, they haven't done them yet, right? So there's proof that he's being internally. I mean, we already figured that, but now we know. Okay. Iraq pumps $1 billion into the market. Is the economic crisis getting worse? You could read that if you like. That article's here. And this is free. You don't have to join anything. You don't have to pay anything. Just go to the blog. It's there. You click this link here. See, it's not live now because this is a preview. But when you visit the blog, you'll be able to click this link and it will go to the actual article in Arabic. Okay? Legal violations in the work of the central bank prompt demands to replace its governor, Ali al-Alaq. So they haven't stopped. They haven't stopped asking for his removal. And then here, restructuring the banking sector on a digital basis. I'm not sure why this picture is so big. And it's just one little paragraph. But I'm thinking, so this came out Saturday. I'm thinking either Sunday through Tuesday, we may get more of a detailed article because this is the, what is he? Financial advisor, Mohammed Saleh. He never does anything this short. So I'm thinking there'll be a longer article out. But they've been, so I'll just, it says Mohammed Saleh praised an interview with, in an interview with the news agency, the government's direction and efforts to restructure the banking system, both governmental and private, indicating that this relentless effort aims to build the banking and financial sector on digital foundations. Saleh pointed out that restructuring the banking system leads to competition in financial and banking services provided to the public. All right. Here, a chronic rise 2 months ago, the only condition for the dollar exchange rate to decrease in Iraq, and I believe it was, quick, especially small traders. Oh, it's that platform. Remember, there was an article saying make a platform to deal specifically with Iran, Syria, and Lebanon. So this is another push for that. So you can read that article if you like. Here, an economist calls for consideration of the work of Jordanian banks in Iraq. So again, they've been doing this for about 3 or 4 months, right? Saying, hey, you need to look into those Jordanian banks. So there again is another article. This person, I don't know about them. I think they're Iranian backed, but I'm not sure. Sometimes they say some pretty crazy stuff. Sometimes they say some reasonable stuff. So it's really hard to know, you know. But so it's Al Fatah Alliance. They're saying foreign banks in Iraq do not have cash value. And they could be right because they're pretty much there being a pass through, right? That's not, no one really wants to say that, but that's pretty much what they are. But anyway, foreign and Jordanian banks in particular do not have through which they can supply the Iraqi market funds with the monetary mass. And their presence inside Iraq does more harm than good. So, yeah. All right. Here, this was big news today, and here's the details. I believe they may do a PDF presentation, but for now, this came out today. Prime Minister announces launch of 5-year National Development Plan. So this is different. I know recently there was another 5-year plan, but that was something else. This is different. So it goes from 2024 to 2028. Here, they have him looking all presidential, which he is, right? And then there's a little blurb about it. And then here is the more detailed description. So the plan's goals, of course, as it is the way to change the lives of Iraqis for the better. Now, there are some points about economic, but they don't flat out say new currency, new rate. But it's pretty good if you want to read that. Let me see, we have 5 minutes. Okay. Oh, this is supposed to be in the military section. Okay, yeah. So we're going to wrap up actually a little early. Repeated violations of sovereignty in the presence of the international coalition put Iraqi military leaders before two bitter choices. So they recognize they need our presence, but our presence sometimes causes us to defend ourselves, and there's that word. I'm gonna probably stop saying this word also and maybe just say the Z entity. But so just for right now, let's establish that Zionist, the Zionist entity, which in Iraq's news is Israel. Oops, ice cream land. Okay, but so I'm just gonna say the Z entity from now on, okay? Anyway, isn't it crazy? We're supposed to be free speech, land of the free, home of the brave, and anyway, all right. So then when you have the Iranian-backed politicians there who want us out so they can move in, right? It's a tough line to toe. But, so you'll hear them cry out and, bang their pans and make all that noise. But, they know they need us there. Okay, this is some sad news. 2 Georgia guardsmen die in non-combat related incidents in Iraq. And, 23 years old. And they're no longer in the land of the living. So we just honor them. Pray for the families. Pray for all our troops. All right. So I wanted to point that out. And I always end this with Salute the Ones Who Died, which is a lyric in a Zac Brown band song. For those of you who know me, I love country music. Love me some country music. And actually, Zac Brown band is one of my favorites. But all right. So that's it. If you want to read military stuff, here, and point in case, here is Major General whatever going to Kurdistan. The other part of the country over there is giving us a hard time. We're good still? If we need to move all our troops over here, we're good? Now, I don't know if that's what they talked about, but I can imagine, right? That's what they talked about. But if you want to read that article, it's here. The foreign minister, we haven't heard too much about him. And this is such a bad picture of him. They know they could have chose a better picture than that. Anyway, he says region needs collective effort to diffuse conflict. But he uses the word that I use in place of, right? So if you want to read that, that's there. And this also, Washington international community stood with Baghdad to break ISIS grip on Iraq. So if you want to read that, that's there. And these are the people that will be reacting. How about that? Reacting. And I'm going to go ahead and say al-Nujaba, but they're under a bigger part of the security forces, But in this instance, they're breaking away because, yeah, they're going to make a move against us. See, they're organized. They have flags. They have uniforms. So if you want to read that, they put out this nice little report here. So they are serious. And that's why we deployed those ships and more forces, right? Which is, in my opinion, not good. It's almost like we're going backwards, right? But anyway, it is what it is. So you are all caught up. You're all caught up. And like I said, do read that article that I believe is a major turning point. I believe it's for the good also. Turning point for the good. So thank you for listening. As always, accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay all your bills. What else? Oh, if there is a follow, join, subscribe, whatever button wherever you are enjoying this content, click that, swipe that, tap that, whatever action is necessary to activate it, because I don't post regularly. If you do that and technology works like it's intended to, when I post, you'll be updated. All right. Thanks again. I appreciate your time. I do hope I'm helping you stay in this. It's been a slow, slow, slow journey, and we may still have some more to go. But I'll be there if you'll be there. All right. So enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you're enjoying this content. And until next time.